So here I am in the middle of nowhere, as you can see all around me. There isn't any civilization. Very far you could see some homes, but other than that, it's middle of nowhere. So the reason I'm here is to show you the refilling of the reservoir and how they refill it by releasing the water from Loveland Reservoir to rush through and come over here to fill up the Sweetwater Reservoir. So that's what I'm going to show you. The water channel or the water route seeking path to reach the Sweetwater Reservoir. That's what we're doing here. So I'm gonna set up my drone and do a flyby and show you what's going on. Okay, so this is Sweetwater River. The trees that you see in the middle and a whole bunch of vegetation are actually, these are growing in the riverbed. So the water channel is rushing underneath these trees. The reason why the vegetation is dense in that area, that's because it's always humid with the river water, or even when the river is dry, there's still enough humidity for these vegetation and trees to survive. Nonetheless, that even when it rains, the nearby water channels will drain their water load in the center of the valley, and that's what keeps these vegetations and trees and what have you green and alive. So what I'm trying to show you is how do they refill the Sweetwater River. What are the procedures and how they do it? Okay, so they have another reservoir in Alpine, which I believe is called Loveland Reservoir. I might be mistaken, but I believe that's what the name is. And when the water gets too dry here and basically substantial, or I should say sufficient over there, then they will release billions or maybe millions of gallons of water to rush down the river and fill up the Sweetwater Lake. The river goes all the way from here to Alpine. Now this is the same river that goes under those two, or I should say three, metallic frame historical bridge that's right next to the 94 going to Steel Canyon. And if you notice these trees and vegetation that is currently obviously dry because we had a very dry winter, they're going all the way behind the Target shopping center. All these trees that you're looking at behind the Target shopping center remotely are actually in the riverbed. So this is the Sweetwater River, which is invisible. Why is it invisible? Because it's flourished with trees and vegetation hiding the actual water flow underneath it. Now there are certain areas of this river which isn't it doesn't have as much vegetation, or I should say it's basically more plain and flat. In that area you can see the water. Now notice remotely, very far, you will see the water rushing in this side. These are the three bridges, or actually it's a single bridge, but it has three metallic frames. So this is the historical bridge right next to the 94, and this is the 94, as you can see. And this is the 94 headed towards Steel Canyon High School. As you can see, those are the horse ranches on the left, and all the way there that goes to Hamul. And now notice the water from remote by the golf courses, by the, there you go, you see the green water all the way remote. That is the water that's going to be rushing and filling up this river. And this is a shopping center, the Target shopping center, and you know, the YMCA and what have you. And this one is the water, you know, the Otay Water District water processing plant. And as you can see, people are going for a walk down below, and they are enjoying their beautiful day in this beautiful trail. Now, those of you who are drone enthusiasts and would like to make beautiful footage, keep in mind that you cannot land or take off from this area. Drones are not allowed to touch down or take off. You could be in safe enough elevation not to disturb the wildlife underneath. Now, the elevation above the river is controlled by FAA, Federal Aviation Administration. So private properties and private or governmental lands, they don't control the air. And if drones are not allowed in an area, it will be blocked by FAA. And then when you keep your drones firmware or software up to date, it will not fly to restricted airspace. So basically, your drone software needs to be updated. This way you are not in violation of FAA regulations. Okay, so now you can see the water from this angle. You could see very clearly the water down below because it's reflecting the sun. When we were coming from the other direction, basically heading towards the metallic bridge, the sun wasn't reflecting the water because the sun was on the other side. The sun was behind the drone. Now it's actually on the other side reflecting from the water, and that's why you can see the water being rushed down in that river. All these trails that you see right and left, these are trails that you can go and enjoy. They have a curfew after sunset. You have to be out of there by sunset because they don't want people to be hanging around that area when it gets too dark and too unsafe for people to be jogging and walking. Now, notice the water. At this point, the water is, I mean, it's a good body of water, a good sized water rushing down, and the Sweetwater River has come back to life. Now notice something. Despite the fact that there's such a rush of water down below, if you notice, it hasn't yet reached the Sweetwater Lake. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But the water has a decent rush, but it hasn't reached. Why? Because you see that the water body of water on the left is shining blue. That's the reason why. A lot of the water are being accumulated there. And once this pool is filled up, it will overflow and the water will be channeled further to reach the lake. Remember, this is not a canal to be all leveled. This is a river. So river has deeper spots, higher spots, and those areas that are deeper will have pools of water accumulated. And that pools of water is actually necessary for the wildlife, necessary for the fish, for the bird, and for even coyotes and what have you. All these different creatures who come here to drink water. So this is a lifeline. This river is a lifeline for a lot of wild creatures. And as you can see, this is so beautiful. Oh my God, look at that city truck. I see the city truck on the right. They're probably doing some kind of a cleanup or something. Anyways, notice from this point forward, the water hasn't yet reached. So that's as far as the water has reached. Even though thousands, millions, or billions actually of gallons of water have been released, it hasn't reached any further. Although I do see some water on the right there, on the left side of the dirt road, you see some water there. I'm not sure if that's the accumulation of previous water, or is it this water, the newly released water. Actually, it may be the newly released, but so it hasn't reached to its fullest extent, basically, to its fullest flow. I mean, you notice how quickly and wildly the water was rushing from those steel bridges, or I should say steel bridge. But here it's more calm because not too much water has reached this part. It hasn't made it yet. And as you can see, this red formation, which I believe is some kind of a plant, riverbed plant, are all dried. This is how they become dry when there is drought, no rain or anything else. So they haven't yet, taken advantage of the newly released water. That's why they're all dry. But pretty soon they will. So yeah, look, it seems like the water has reached here, but not to the same strength and magnitude that we saw by the bridge. So this is much weaker stream compared to there. Now that's all the way there is Gabriel National Monument, or Gabriel Mountain, very far I'm talking. And then this is Dictionary Hill here, which you're looking at right there. That's Dictionary Hill. That far remote is Mount Helix, and that's Mount Helix. And this is the Pointe Parkway community, Lakeview at Highlands Ranch community, and yeah. So as you can see, all these dirt roads are for the city maintenance. The city trucks come here to do some kind of a maintenance on the lake and make sure everything is good. And there are a lot of wildlife here, believe it or not. There are a lot of coyotes, raccoons, deers, bobcats. There was a mountain lion sighting in 1994, but I don't know if there has been any additional mountain lion sightings after that. But they do have all kinds of bird wildlife, like all kinds of hawks, red-tailed hawk, and all types of birds. There I am, standing in the sun with my hat, and boy, if it wasn't for that hat, today it was so hot. It was nearly 90 degrees, really hot. But yeah, I made it safely, and yeah, that's where I am. I'm gonna go in a circle so you can see the surrounding of where I'm standing, so you could see that there's basically nothing. So it was quite a walk to get to this place. As you can see, there is hardly anything around me, and I forgot to bring drinking water. Can you imagine? Coming here without drinking water. But there you go. Okay, so it's time to land the drone, and I have a long walk to my car, and it's a steep uphill. Okay, now I have to find my way back. It is not gonna be fun, that's for sure. It's really hot today. It's like 95 degrees. I don't know why, it's winter time, but it's really hot. There's a possibility of rattlesnakes, possibilities of other dangerous scorpions, and what have you. And here I'm trying to find my way back. Just so you could get a glimpse of the surrounding. Just look at the surrounding. It is not a friendly environment. Yeah. It is not a friendly environment, that's for sure. As you can see, I'm walking. I have my drone packed up, trying to make it back to my car safely without being attacked by coyotes, mountain lions, rattlesnakes, or who knows what else. This is a steep hill, so I'm climbing the steep hill. Yeah, look at the hill. See how steep it is? Yeah, I'm climbing the steep hill. Oh my god, I'm tired already. But again, I'm getting old. I could use a little exercise, but not this kind of exertion. Okay, so look what's in front of me. Anyways, what an adventure it was. Yeah, what an adventure. I was not smart enough to bring water, that's for sure. I heard a snake run. Yeah, I wasn't smart enough to bring water. They say as you grow old, you become more wise. Well, they have to rephrase that, because it wasn't wisdom not to bring water. Oh man. Oh man. My journey back home. Oh man. Good thing I was wearing a hat. Otherwise I had a guaranteed headache from excessive heat or heat stroke. For real, that's like 90 degrees, if not more. Finally, I'm getting close to civilization after nearly 15 minutes of uphill walking and uphill battle to get to the civilization and to get to the actual trail, the end of which led to the footpath that I followed to get closer to the scenery that I wanted to shoot. Now this end of the trail even is not your smooth riding. As you can see, bushes are nearly 3 feet high and any rattlesnake or other hazardous beehive and what have you could be hiding and paying you a surprise visit. These are the water drains where the rain comes when it rains. Yeah. Okay. Looks like, look, all the way I came. And I'm not even close to getting where my car is. I hope I have water in the car. Let's hope so. I should have come in the evening when the sun wasn't this hot. But yeah, you live and learn. Who would have thought 90 plus degrees heat in the middle of the winter? I'm almost there. Almost there. But not quite there yet. Quite a distance I walked. But hey, that's what adventure's all about, right? Okay. Finally made it to civilization. Alright. I have to go where my car is. Oh, as you can see, a couple of more steps to go to get to my car. Okay, I made it in one piece, and I'll be posting this footage. Alright, I'll be posting this footage. Okay, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.